Go.
Hello, my name is Olivia Courtney, and I'm going to be talking about El Niños, why they happen, where they happen, and what makes them happen. And also a little bit about La Niñas and what the difference is. What is an El Niño? An El Niño is when weakening trade winds allow warmer water from the western Pacific, right there, to flow towards the eastern Pacific. An El Niño flattens out the sea level, builds up warm surface water off the coast of America, right here, which is also why we have flooding in Santa Cruz. It increases temperature of the water in the eastern Pacific, here. So El Niño basically just means the warming of the ocean's temperature. The El Niño of 1982-1983 was responsible for the loss of nearly 2,000 lives and displacement of hundreds of thousands of their homes. The losses were caused by droughts and fires in Australia and southern Africa, Central America, Indonesia, the Philippines, South America, India. There were floods in the USA, Gulf of Mexico, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and Cuba. More hurricanes than usual affected Hawaii and Tahiti. The most recent El Niños were in 1951, 1953, 1957 to 1958, 1965 to 1969, 1972 to 1973, 1976, 1982 to 1983, 1986 to 1987, 1991 to 1992, 1994, and 1997. The areas most affected by El Niño are the Western Pacific Ocean, which includes the Philippines, Indonesia, and some other countries. Southern California, like Los Angeles, San Diego, Santa Barbara, and Peru, which is close to Brazil, and Chile. Precipitation is also a consequence of the El Niño. So this is a graph of the precipitation of Ben Lomond and Melbourne. So the green is the Ben Lomond, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on right now. So you can see it stays relatively steady. It's always more in around the January time, but then it gets a little bit less and then more. So yeah, you can just see how that varies. This is going to be a non-El Niño year. So in Ben Lomond they had a lot of rain in January, and then they were in more of a drought, I would say, throughout the year, so it wasn't as heavy. And this is going to be a very severe El Niño year. It is also very high in January, but they have more of a drought in Ben Lomond and in Melbourne. And then it gets a little bit higher in November, but it's still not as good as we would like it. One of the world's largest fisheries is off the coast of Peru. In most years, winds from the southeast push warm surface water away from the coast. In its place, upwelling brings to the surface cold water rich with nutrients. These provide nourishments for the microscopic plants known as plankton. Plankton normally provides food for a vast community of anchovies and other fish. The fish turn supply food for seabirds. Not only is the fish catch economically important, but the harvesting of bird excrement provides a supply and valuable fertilizer. I think that the next El Niño will happen in 2015 because, as you see on this graph, the probability rises from February to December, and I think that it'll keep rising into 2015, and that the next El Niño will happen either in the middle of 2015 or towards the end. If an El Niño event would develop off the coast of Africa, I think the water temperature of the Atlantic Ocean would rise, which would cause the coastal temperature to rise. The rise in air temperature would cause more humidity, so it would rain more. It would cause a flood in the coastal areas of the Atlantic. La Niña is when the ocean temperatures get unusually cold in the equatorial Pacific compared to an El Niño, when the ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific get unusually warm. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you guys learned at least a little bit from this video.